Hello my keto peeps, it's Samaya and welcome back to my channel, I Don't Sugarcoat. Today I'm so excited you guys, I finally get to share my pasta recipe with you. So let's get started. Now before we jump in you guys, I just want to tell you real quick about the flour that we're going to be using to just go ahead and just do the reveal you guys. The new flour we're going to be using today is Lupin Semolina. And if you guys know what semolina flour is, you guys, you know that semolina flour is used to make pasta. And so when I found out about this, you guys, I was so freaking happy and I was so excited to order this and get this, you guys, because I knew that that was going to change the way my pasta felt and tasted, and it absolutely did just that. Now, I ordered this straight from Australia. I was not able to find anywhere in the US that carried this. And I was lucky enough to be told about this product from one of my wonderful subscribers. Her name is Joanne Higginbottom. I hope I'm saying your name right. She sent me a comment on one of my videos saying that, hey, I live in Australia and here we have more Lupin products. Now I want to tell you guys right now, since the pandemic is going on, it is going to take you a while to get this in the mail and it's going to be expensive. When I ordered this, it did not cost me that much. I think the shipping, because I did it express, and it cost me like $16 something. So even though I got my order in like right before things really got bad and shut down, it still affected my order, and it took a little over 3 weeks for me to get my stuff in when it was supposed to take like 4 to 5 days. So on the regular, it will only take 4 to 5 days. But right now, while everything's going on, if you do decide to order this, it is gonna take some time to reach you. It'll tell you how much it'll cost to get to you. And so it is quite a bit more expensive right now. Now, I will tell you that this flour is amazing. And if you can see, sorry, if you can see up here in the camera, you can see that it has a very fine texture. It's not quite powdery, you guys. It has a very fine, gritty texture, almost like cornmeal, but a little bit finer than that. And it gave me some ideas to possibly be able to do something like cornbread or maybe corn tortillas or something like that with this flour. So that's a conversation for another day. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to use, I'm going to be using my stand mixer for this. And I think that's the best way to go about this. If you don't want to have to knead the dough, but if you want to do some kneading, hey, go ahead, go for it. But for me, I don't want to do any kneading, so I'm going to be using my stand mixer. Okay, so I have 2/3 of a cup of vital wheat gluten that I'm going to add to my bowl, and this converts to about 80 grams. Next, I'm going to add a 1/2 cup, which converts to 60 grams of Lupin flour. And then we're going to be adding the Lupin Semolina, and I'm using 1/3 of a cup of this, and that converts to about 70 grams. Okay, and then we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of Xanthan Gum, and then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of salt. And you can add as much or as little of salt as you want. Season this pasta to how you want it to be. And then we'll go ahead and give that a quick stir. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and add our bowl to our stand mixer. And now add your whisk, paddle attachment. If you have one that has the rubber edge on it, I think that works best. It'll go ahead and scrape all the flour. But if not, add your other paddle attachment onto your stand mixer. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and turn this on. We're going to turn it on to about a medium speed. you want to turn this on first before we get started adding our wet ingredients. Now in this I have 2 eggs, and we're going to be adding that, and to it we're going to add 4.5 ounces of water that has 1 tablespoon of oil mixed into it. And that basically is just a little bit more than half a cup, you guys. And that's why I sometimes use other methods of measuring, because I needed just that little bit of extra water. So that's why I'm using ounces to measure this instead of using cups. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'll add the eggs first. And then we'll go ahead and pour in our water oil mixture. And now for those of you who are measuring in grams, that was about 135 grams of water. Okay, and then we're just gonna let this mix until it comes together really well as a dough. And now we're gonna stop. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and add our dough hook. I've collected my dough into a bowl. I've collected my dough into a ball at the bottom of the bowl. Those 3 B words coming right after each other just totally twisted my tongue. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add this attachment, and then we're gonna go ahead and let this knead for about 6 to 7 minutes. And we'll let it knead on, put it on speed 4 if you're using a stand mixer. Put it on speed 4, and we'll let it knead for about 6 to 7 minutes. Just check it and make sure it looks like the dough, the elasticity in the dough has come together, and it looks like it's nice and stretchy. Okay, once your dough is done, you want to go ahead and get it out the bowl. And what you'll notice is your dough is quite sticky, and you probably also noticed during the time that it was kneading that you had to stop and scrape the bottom of the bowl a couple of times to get it to form back into a ball. That's perfectly fine, it's normal. Okay. So you want your dough to feel a little sticky. It's kind of like a dry, sticky feel. It's like not leaving any residue behind on your hand, but it's definitely got a sticky feel to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this split up so we can have 2 sheets of dough that we're gonna roll out. Okay, now that I've got my dough split into 2, it doesn't have to be equal parts. It's completely fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and try to shape this into a bit of a rectangle, and I just wanna give it a little press with my rolling pin to flatten it out some so that I can put it through my pasta roller here. And I've gone ahead and added my attachment here to my stand mixer. And so once I get this flattened a little bit, and you'll see that your dough is very, very pliable, very easy to roll, very easy to oh, what's the word am I looking for? It's very easy to handle. I am totally drawing a blank right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just roll it out just a little bit. Okay, now that I've got my 2 sheets of dough rolled out, it doesn't need to be perfect, you guys. You see, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can try to get it to be a little bit more symmetrical if you like, but me, what I do is I just tend to give it a little trim. Now, you don't have to do this if you don't want to have any waste, but I just try to clean up my edges and have it go through nice and neat, and I don't find that, you know, I'm missing all that much off of here. So I just give it a little trim on the edges to try to clean it up and have clean edges. And this is what I'm cutting off. As you can see, it's not all that much, just so I can have nice straight edges. I don't tend to do it to the top and bottom. I don't, you know, I just really don't care that much about that part. But on the sides, I just wanted to try to get as nice clean edges as possible. So that's the little bit of waste that I like to cut off, but you don't have to do that at all. Okay, and so now we're gonna turn our pasta roller on to 1, and that is the widest that it starts off at. And then I like to turn mine up to somewhere between 6 and around 6 and 8. So I'm gonna go ahead and start running my pasta through here, and I like to run it through 2 or 3 times on each setting that I do. And as you can see, it goes in nice and easily, you guys. It stretches very easily and it comes out so beautifully. Like, if you could feel this pasta, you guys, the dough is so stretchy. It's so amazing. I'm just so impressed with how well the semolina flour made a difference, you guys, in the way that my pasta was. Okay, now we want to go ahead and move it up to number 2. Okay, and now let's go ahead and move to 3. And make sure you get it on the right one, because sometimes I have done that and just totally skipped and jumped up one number before I was ready. Okay, you guys, so I've done mine up to 4. I'm not going to go past 4 because this is the thickness that I like. So as you can see, guys, my dough has stretched out nice and long. It's beautiful. It is so elastic. It has stood up very well in the machine. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to go ahead and cut this dough in half, because I don't want to put it through the machine when I do the noodle part. I don't want to put it through there when it's that long. Now, you can do yours however you please at this stage. I am going to go ahead and cut that, and I'll probably cut it again. I don't know. Sometimes I like to leave my noodles kind of long, you guys. And so I'm going to go ahead and get my pasta tree right here, and I'm going to go ahead and drape my noodles over it, because I don't want to keep them on top of each other. I don't want them to stick together. And then you're just going to do the same thing, you guys. You're going to start on 1 and you're going to go through until you get to your desired thickness. And so I will be back when it's time to start cutting it with the next attachment. Okay, so I've got all my pasta nice and neatly pressed out, and we're going to go ahead and put it through the cutting attachment, and I've got it on the linguine one. So I'm gonna go ahead and put all these through here. Now, mine is a bit old. I need to replace mine. It does not cut through the dough all the way like it should. Or something else is wrong with it, I'm not sure, but I think it's just because it's old and need a replacement. But if you have this attachment, you should have no problem with it cutting right through the dough and it's separating the noodles. For me, it like cuts through every other noodle and I have to pull them apart. It's a headache, but for now it's doable. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this on to about 6 or so, and I'm going to cut through all of these, and then I'm going to show you guys what they look like when it's all nice and done. Okay, as you can see, they are all done. My pasta looks beautiful. I did cut them a little shorter than what I normally would, but this is fine. This is a 4 serving amount of pasta, and I think, you know, it really is pretty filling, especially because it has a lot of fiber and stuff. So this pasta, you don't even need much. It goes a long way, you guys. And I will tell you right now, because I want you to understand. I don't know if any of you have made fresh pasta before. Before I got into this, I had not made fresh pasta before. And so for the longest time when I was trying to play around with my first pasta recipe, I was trying to chase that same texture of regular store-bought pasta. And it never dawned on me that fresh pasta and store-bought pasta were not going to be the same. And I had to do a little research to find that out. So you will see for yourself that the texture will not be the same as store-bought pasta. It is not bad. I don't want you to think that, oh, it's not going to be like, no, it's not like that. It is not the same, but it is a little different. And so it just took me a little bit to get used to that differentness in the texture, because you're so used to eating the store-bought version for all those years. And I don't know, maybe it's just me. I kind of expected it to be that way. But once I got it into my head that, hey, this is fresh pasta, it's not going to be the same as regular store-bought pasta, then it was totally fine. The taste, you guys, I will tell you, for me, my first version of the pasta, I did not really like the taste as much as I do of this one. This one tastes pretty close to regular pasta, you guys, like pretty close. The other one had a little bit of a different taste, and I think it might be because of the oat fiber. So if you don't, if you either don't want to order the Semolina Lupin Flour, or if you just are wanting to wait until, you know, you can get it at a better price and you're able to get it delivered to you in a better time frame, I totally understand that. So if you're wanting to do some substitutes for the Semolina flour, I would probably say the best thing you could do is to do either a 50-50 split between the vital wheat gluten and the Lupin flour, or do something like a 60-40 split. And I probably would go with 60-40, leaning more towards Lupin flour than the vital wheat gluten. So that is what I would suggest, going with something along those lines, because every version of pasta recipe I ever played around with, I didn't make the vital wheat gluten be the dominant flour in the recipe. So I would suggest not doing a 50-50, but you could if you wanted to. So I think that's going to be about it for this, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and give you the nutritional value of these pasta as this stands for a 4 serving, because that's what I've done with this. I've cooked this pasta a few times now, and it's made 4 good servings. So I'm going to go ahead and read those nutritional facts off to you. I've got them right here written on a paper this time. Okay, this has 242.8 calories. It's going to be 4 net carbs per serving. You're going to have 9 grams of fat, and it's going to have 31.9 grams of protein. So it is heavy on the protein, you guys. So I would say, you know, for me, doing OMAD, this isn't bad for me. You know, I just throw in a little meat with it. I usually have a salad. I have my salad and my pasta, and my protein numbers still stay, you know, where they should be. So you just want to take into consideration that these noodles are a little bit high in protein. So you just want to make sure that whatever else you add to it, you know, you want to make sure you watch out for your protein, because you don't want to go too far over on your protein. So these noodles will make a reappearance in another video where I'm going to show you how I cook these, and I'm going to make a little sauce for them, and I will test them out on camera for you. But for tonight, these are going to go ahead and sit out overnight and dry. I do like to let mine dry overnight, but you can take this pasta and make it from a fresh state. You can go ahead and cook these right now as they are. You would just be cooking them for a shorter amount of time. You would want to start checking for their doneness probably around 4 minutes or so. So I would, if you want to go ahead and cook these right from here, wait about 4 minutes, give it a test, see if you like the tenderness, and then go from there. So that's going to be it, you guys. This is keto pasta, and I am going to be bringing you some more dishes made with different versions of this recipe, so you guys stay tuned for that. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. If you're new here, don't forget to click that subscribe, and don't forget to ding the little bell, you guys, so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video. And until next time, you guys, bye.